format for importing the data. Okay, the Sqoop has its own data types. It has different data format to import the data. The user can easily import data into Avero data format by simply specifying the option as Avero data file, which is import command. The Sqoop is provide several other options to use to turn into the import operation. The Sqoop is having many different operations. It has multiple different ways of the operations you can able to perform through the import. Now, how to import your data into Hive? Is it only we are importing Sqoop data into HDFS? No, you can able to import your Hive also in a database. HBase, it has its own database like our SQL server. The Hadoop is having multiple databases. Importing data into Hive is you have to use the command -hive -import. That command is used for how to import your SQL server data or Oracle data into Hive table. So appending the above to your Sqoop import command, the Sqoop takes the care of populating the Hive metastore with appropriate metadata for the table and also invoke the necessary commands to load the table or partition. Here it is very important things you have to learn is here there is a partition mechanism is working very well. Okay, the tables are partitioned. You can explicitly import all the tables of table value or portion of your partitioned value. Okay, the Sqoop is importing entire dump of table or only the partial portion of your partitioned of table. It can able to support for importing any kind of database. Now we are learning about how it is importing data into a Hive. -hive -import. This is a simple command. You have to add it to your Sqoop import command. So here we have a Sqoop command, right? We discussed, right? The Sqoop import -fn connect. So this -fn connect will come into a Hive import. How we have to connect to the Hive. So there you have to add the metaphor of -hive import. Connect whatever the format JDBC, MySQL, localhost database path, and -table, table name, -username, and -password. So this command will be useful for importing the table. There you have to append the commands called -hive-import. Okay, Sqoop automatically choose the native delimiter set by used by Hive. When it is importing to the Hive, Sqoop is using the native delimiters set used by the Hive. If the data is being imported, the new lines or other Hive delimiters character in it. So if what are the data format is need to be imported to Hive, we can define, or by default it will be choose a native delimiter like a commas delimiter or a separate line delimiter. The Sqoop is also allow you to remove such a character and data correctly populated for consuming to Hive. If you sometimes you don't want to use this delimiter, you can also remove such characters from the data to correctly populate into your tables, Hive tables. After import completed, user can operate table just like any other table in the SQL server or Oracle or Hive. It is act as a small the right table. How it has been look like your in your SQL server Oracle. Same way you can able to have the clear structure will be available here in the Hive table also after your import. The raw data will be converted into a Hive table. When it's importing, it will be Hadoop job, but after import is completed in HDFS or Hive table or HBase, it will be show you as a table. Okay. So here the Sqoop populate data particular column family in a HBase table. Okay, how we are going to import into HBase. Previously we studied about how we are going to import into Hive. For Hive import, you have to use the command -hive-import. Append this above statement into your Sqoop import command. Rather connection of user ID and password and database locations are same. And how to import into HBase. HBase is one of the tool, similar kind of database tool. This database is the column-oriented tool, column-oriented database. HBase will work in a different way. It will not work as a structure query language of SQL Server. It has the rows and column. The Hive or HBase, totally different databases. The HBase architecture is totally different because we need to process terabytes of data. The terabytes of data packet need to be get processed means the normal SQL Server type of storing the data into rows and column will not be sufficient. So this column oriented of database, it will be a column family. It is a partition way of column family. It won't key comma value pair. So how the record set or each table rows will have one unique identifier of employee ID and thing. Similar way in the whenever it is getting processed in the HBase, it won't key comma value pair concept of column oriented databases. Any data is dumping like you consider like as Excel sheet, Excel spreadsheet. Okay, the Excel spreadsheet will have a certain rows and columns. That rows and columns will have a A1 comma B1. Similar way, some values, the particular cell value also I can take, right? But here the HBase is the column oriented similar way, but all the data will be get stored into a column oriented fashion. Okay, the Sqoop can populate the data in a particular column family in a HBase table. The HBase table column setting the requirement in order to import. In which partitioning of column family I need to import the data. That level is possible using the Sqoop tool. If you have a very large data dumped into 1 terabytes of data, now you want to portion of data you want to update from a different table. You can do that only for that particular columns or column family or particular cell value. You can easily import or dump the data where your data need to be reflected. The Sqoop can populate the data in a particular column family in a HBase table. The HBase table column family setting is required in order to import the table to HBase. The data import to HBase convert their string representation and insert as the UTF-8 byte format. So this particular format only these data are dumped to the HBase. So now we'll understand how it is what is the commands are you need to be used for importing data into HBase. HBase hyphen create hyphen table HBase table. This is the first line of different commands for importing data to HBase. These are the syntax. This syntax you need to remember. So we previously saw about the Sqoop import connect command. What is the things in Sqoop? Sqoop import database name, that means the database location, table name, username and password. After that, you want to import this into your HBase directly, or you want to import into the directly your HDFS, or you want to import into a Hive. So those things you have to specify after you specify your table name, table, database name, username and password. Then you have to use the command called -HBase. That particular table you are going to import hyphen create table. If it doesn't have a table is created on your Hive table, you can use the command hyphen create during when it is importing. When it is importing during that time also you can create a table in a Hive. You can import a table in a column oriented fashion of the table while it is importing. That is the powerful of this Sqoop. When it is importing, it will automatically create a structure of table. Based on the structure of the table, it will create as a column family. Then it will dump the data into your HBase. So for that, you have to use the command -HBase create table -HBase table Hive table name. That's the table name you have to specify. Column family. That column family means the structured orientation of the HBase structure. There is HBase is storing the data and retrieving data in a column oriented fashion. Okay. Then these commands we are going to in depth we are going to study. HBase create table, how it's been working. HBase table, how it has been working. Column family, what is a column family, how it has been dumping the data into column family. Those things we will be studying in depth in the other sessions. But first level of understanding, you have to understand how it is importing the table into HBase. These are the simple commands we can use. Create table, while importing the database, you can able to create a table and store the metadata, and hyphen hbase hyphen table, where you can specify the table name, which table need to be get used, and hyphen column hyphen family, you specify the column family, which column family need to be used. If you are aware of the hbase column oriented column family, then you can simply use this hyphen column hyphen family. Hyphen column hyphen family you have to use for which column family of Excel based version kind of things we can store in a column oriented fashion of data. I'll unmute everyone. If you have any question, just ask me. Anybody has any question how to import into HBase, how to import into Hive?
Hi Mani, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes I can.
Mani, this is Parni.
Hmm?
While importing the data, right, is it possible for us to cleanse the data?
It is possible to. I'm not getting that real.
Cleansing. Like I need to remove the extra spaces, like so, in each and every column.
Yes, it is possible. It is possible in the Sqoop. You can able to do that. I'll go to the another slide. There I specified. One second. I'll go to that. So here, if you see in this slide, the Sqoop is automatically choose the native delimiter used by the Hive. The data is being imported new lines or other high delimiter character. And these kind of characters, such characters, we can able to populate or we can able to override. We can able to change whatever the things we want to format is required, whatever the native data types or different ways you want to store while you're storing into Hive. Everything is possible in this Sqoop. Okay, is nothing, there is no constraint over there. Any kind of character you want to remove or you want to modify the data while it is dumping or previously dumping also, you can able to easily change. The default delimiters are commas and then those things, but your case, your question is totally different. That while it is dumping, can we modify the certain format? Yes, it is possible. It is possible to modify whatever the format you want, whatever the type you want, whatever the delimiter character you want to change, or you can remove certain character also. You can able to remove certain values also. You can remove certain character within a data also before populating the table into Hive, or after populating the table also into Hive. Everything is possible in Sqoop.
Okay. So after, for each and every column, I have some 10 columns, and I am trimming all the columns. And if I give those kind of transformation, will it affect the time to take the load?
No, it will not affect the time to load. If you are, for example, if you have 1 lakh record, if you are applying like a filter, if you are removing certain character, or if you are removing replacing certain character, it will not affect any of your operations value, because it is converting as a multiple jobs. It is converting into a Hadoop. It is a map jobs. It will be converted. Your data operations are will be get converted into multiple jobs. Each job, when it is converting, when it is importing, it will be submitted as into Sqoop jobs. Okay, these jobs will be take care multiple key comma value pair, multiple threading mechanisms kind of way. This engine will work in a different fashion, and then those the operations can be processed and taken to consider into very limited time. It will not take much time over there.
Okay. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Anybody has any other question? Anybody want to share your knowledge to the other four members? What you are aware of the Sqoop? You can go ahead and explain to them so that everybody will aware of that. Some people might be working on this Sqoop. Okay, I'm getting some more questions in the chat window. I'll just answer a few if I possible. Meanwhile, is it possible to import the data from file using Sqoop? Yes, it is possible. And then there are certain questions. Does reducer comes into picture in Sqoop? Yes. Reducer means the kind of filtering mechanisms, right? You are talking about Pavin. Pavit, I'm not getting your questions very clearly. Does reducer comes into picture in Sqoop? Reducer, yes, it is map reduce. Map reduce things. I can able to understand the question now. The map reduce the here only says only the map job. Where is it comes into reducer? Yes, reducer also will come into picture when it comes to the result set. When you want to process your dump of data into HDFS, there even after that you are processing into map reduce engine of writing your business logic program or business logic operation. There the reducer will play a vital role into your operations. So here the only the map jobs will be run. The reducer jobs, because it is just dumping the data of whatever things need to be get mapped. Here the reducer will not be placed, but the reducer will work when you are processing your map reduce activities. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. So now how to export the data from Hive, that means data from HDFS to other external environment. Okay, the first thing is to export whatever the data dump you have in your HDFS, that you can easily you can transfer using the command called export hyphen scoop hyphen export -dir hyphen that's a command for your export the databases from the HDFS to your databases. A Sqoop export -connect JDBC MySQL / database server database name table target table name. So here you are specifying what is your target table you are going to export. It can be either in a cloud environment, it can be in your own local system, or it can be any other remote system. Whatever the data things you want to export, the directory or structure of your HDFS folder structure will be again export into a 64 MB sub block as a HDFS layer. Then when it's processing the data export thing, it will be dump into your databases. The Sqoop space export is a command for using the export command. Command, which database need to be get exported, and table, and what is the target table it need to be get exported, and what is the username, credential for username and password for that particular thing. So then export, specify the export directory under the which directory you have stored your databases. Okay, under the HDFS directory, that directory might be dump the data. The directory you have to specify the same format how it has been available in the directory or the structure of the lines of the raw data, that will be readed into a delimiter, and then it will be exported, and then it will be stored into your the results that will be get stored into your databases, which target table you want to update it. So this is the export table command. Any questions on this? Anybody has any questions on export function? Shall we move to the next slide? So another interesting question asked by the Palaniappan, say if I am dumping the record need the password, where will I give it? Okay. So it is not like a password for your dumping of your directory. So the dumping of the directory also you can able to restrict with the password. The same similar command, you can put that export. the directory name you are specified, right? To access the hyphen username and password, you can able to give the password hyphen password, you can give that. But I don't find that, I never tried that kind of option to restrict the directory in a security way of HDFS. But I know that I have trialed and I have practiced the way of exporting into the dump of table. Maybe I'll try it out. Maybe some other people, they can try and confirm that message. How to dump the directory with a password protected. How to put that? I never tried that, Palnipan. Sure. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Now, export option, how it is working. What is the mechanism is begin on the export. Whatever I'm teaching is a basic functionality or foundation level, but the real training will be more into advanced levels of the Sqoop. What are the stuffs are available into the inside the Sqoop. The detailed programs will be available, the detailed stuffs will be available, but don't assume that whatever we are learning here, it's just very basic levels of the foundations. Okay, so now we are understanding about the exporting data using a Sqoop. Okay, how the Sqoop export is working. Now, previously, the gathered metadata and then map submit, again it will be moved towards to HDFS storage to multiple mapper. These mappers are 64 MBs of block size. These each block each has multiple mapper. Those mapper jobs will be again dumping to the your database by the way of export command. Introspective of the databases for metasphere followed the second step. Second step means I'll come to the second step here in the diagrams how it is been specified. It is transferring the data. Step 1, it is gathering the data, and here step 2, transfer the data. Sqoop divide the input data set into split, and Sqoop divide in individual map task to push the multiple split into databases. Each mapper will be a collections of data. Okay, each mapper will have dumping before exporting. It is having a multiple collections of records. So each mapper job will be executed, and then that will export the table into your databases. Each map task performed this transfer over many transactions in order to ensure the optimal throughput and minimal resource are utilized. Somebody asked whether it's, if I'm processing 64 MBs, whether the receiver, how it will be taken. The receiver side, each mapper task perform this transfer over the many transactions in order to ensure the optimal throughput and minimal resource are utilized. So you will not feel that anything over there, whether it's a larger data size, it will not reflect, but that's where the engine will work. So then next things we'll understand about the more onto the many thing about the Sqoop connectors. Okay, the Sqoop connector, it is a by default the generic JDBC connector. Okay, into the Sqoop connector, it's generic JDBC connector, can be used to connect any database inaccessible via JDBC. Okay, by default Sqoop connector, which is JDBC connector. The default Sqoop connector also available such as MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, SQL Server, and DB2, and then etc. During that time, it is a similar kind of database connector, but there are plenty of connectors are available for to connect the databases. And also, it's actually three different types. Okay, the data can be exported into three different types. One is it through the normal or generic JDBC connector, and by default there are several other connectors are available. That connector we can use. And then the third type is fast path connector. That's very important. Fast path connector is a specialized connector to use specific batch tool transferring the data into high throughput. Okay, if you want to connect to multiple high throughput, you can use this fast path connector. That is also available. So these three type of way only can able to connect the import and export the data processing in the using Sqoop, importing and exporting. First thing is generic database connector, and second thing is default SQL connector, where there is a default options are available, and then third method is fast path connector. Okay, this three-way only you can able to connect to the Sqoop to dumping to your HDFS. Any questions on this? Are you clear? Everyone is clear on this? Okay, there is a questions in the chat window. Why can't they use the always the fast path connector? Why we have to use the generic or default connector? Why don't we use this fast path connector? So while you have to understand, the fast path connector is specialized connector. Okay, by default connector for any provider, if for example if there is a MySQL connector or SQL connector, by default in .NET or Java the ADO.NET connector will be there. It is a specialized connector where you can able to have all the options available. Like generic JDBC connector, normally in SQL Hadoop environment, the Java will be used so that the JDBC connector will be worked, or all the commands can be easily accessed through the JDBC connector. And also some people, if they are specifically they are specialized in the SQL or the Oracle or SQL Server things, MySQL, those people, by default they might be configure their connectors from the different SQL Server or Oracle. By default they might be used into their SOAP pages, so they can reutilize, and then this connector will work in the perfect match to the SQL Server connector to the SQL Server connector, so it will be match over there. This fast path connector is a specialized character for raw data other than the SQL Server or Oracle. It can be used as a batch tool of transferring through high throughput, high volumes of data you want to transfer, video files or audio files, any kind of unstructured data size, any kind of semi-structured stuff. Those things can be connected through the fast path connector. It's a specialized use of specific batch tool transferring the data into the high throughput. For that purpose, we are using this fast path connector. Okay, so that has a different purpose. This fast path connector we will learn in high end of or practical oriented sessions when we are studying on that. Okay, so now we'll move to the next command. Next topic is coming to HBase. What is the time now? It is 12 o'clock. Shall we continue this HBase or Hive in a different session, or we'll continue next 1 hour of time? Because the basic things we have to understand on the Hive or HBase, each topic will be 3 hours of webinar session. So we have to stop another 40 minutes later. We have to stop this, and then we have to recontinue later. So how we can able to proceed? So today we'll stop with the Sqoop. To understand this, try it out by self-learning. Try it out the how to do an exercise in your laptop or PC. Try to connect over there. Based on that, we'll discuss the other topic in the next available webinar sessions. Okay, so keep learning these sessions, keep learning these tools, and keep learning that, and then keep sharing with your keep sharing with the community. So we have started our community, right? So we started the 3 website. One website is the bigdatachapter.com. So I'll provide all the login ID. If you want, you can register yourself. But right now I'm migrating all the tables who the form is filled, and then I'm putting that into as a user ID. And then the other website is bigdatacertification.in. where you can able to, if anybody wanted the training or certification, the full-fledged of there might be 3 days training and 5 days training, but it will be a 1 month of training sessions. It's a practical oriented training sessions. The 3 days of in-person classroom sections or online sessions will be there. Online session is for the other countries people, and then 3 days in-person training is will be going to happen in the April 29, 31st. During that time it will be going to happen on the 2 batches are there, and the April 14th, I think April 14th batch is full already. April 29th, 30 and first batch, I may put that schedule into the bigdata and then there is another website called bigdatacv.com, where if anybody is searching the job, you can post your CV into that particular folder or particular website, so that the right HR people will connect over there, or right opportunities if I have, or if anybody's have in the community, they'll post over there this place that job is available. You can apply over there. They have to specify where is the job is available. Automatically there are notification will come. There are so many things will come into this bigdatacv.com. So 3 website, try to use the community in a right direction, and this noble cause we are started and sharing the knowledge purpose. Don't spoil this things. Okay, learn many things through this chapter, and then understand and enrich your knowledge and enrich your career life. All the best for everyone. Thank you for attending for today's sessions. We'll meet up on the next session. Thank you all. If anybody has any question, post in the WhatsApp or post in the group. We can discuss over there. Thank you all. Anybody want to share any other information to the community about Sqoop or about anything? Okay. Thank you all. Thank you for joining. We'll meet up on the next sessions. We'll wind up now.